Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Tonight we're going to play another game from the Carl Yastrzemski career replay, featuring his rookie season of 1961. This is game number 29 of the season. Red Sox are currently 12-16. They were actually 11-17 coming into this, so they're one game ahead of their pace there. They did win this game by a score of 1-0, a good pitcher's duel between Jim Bunning and Gene Connolly, with Gene Connolly pitching the shutout, allowing only 4 hits to the Detroit Tigers. So the Red Sox are currently 1-1 against Detroit this year. This is a short 2-game series. This is a game from May 18th, Thursday, May 18th, 1961. They would have an off day tomorrow, so I'm thinking that maybe that middle game got rained out or something. And then they would play again on Saturday. So a short 2-game series against the Tigers. So Jim Bunning, Gene Connolly, let's start with him. Gene Connolly, because this game is at Fenway Park. Oops. There we go, right here. Gene Connolly comes in with a 1-2 record on the season with a 7.61 earned run average, so he's had a rough start to the 1961 season. 21 1/3 innings pitched, 28 hits allowed, with 11 Ks and 5 walks. So the lineup for the Detroit Tigers is going to be Chico Fernandez at shortstop batting first. He'll be followed by Bill Brute in the center fielder. Al Kaline, the right fielder, will hit third. Rocky Colavito will hit cleanup and play left. Norm Cash is the first baseman, hitting fifth. Steve Boros, the third baseman, will hit sixth. Dick Brown, who's behind the plate, hitting seventh. The second baseman is Jake Wood. Now in the actual game, the second baseman is Ozzie Virgil, but inside pitch does not have a position of second base for Ozzie Virgil, so they will not allow him to play second base, which is definitely one thing I wish they would improve there, because that's happened to me a few times here. There's a shortstop for the Red Sox, I can't think of his name offhand, who played a few games at shortstop, but I've had to have either Don Budden or name escapes me right now. The other shortstop play instead of him, so I kind of wish they would allow it so you can play players out of position, or you could because I imagine they're generally not very good if they only played a few games at a certain position. But I wish they would allow you to play either players out of position, or maybe give a little bit more accurate representation of what positions they played throughout the season. To make it a little more accurate. But anyway, not a huge deal. So Jim Bunning will hit ninth and be on the mound for the Tigers. So Chico Fernandez steps to the plate. In the 1961 season, he hit .248 with 3 homers and 40 runs batted in. 2 for 6 in games versus the Red Sox with a homer and 2 runs batted in. Also 2 runs scored. So Connolly looks in for the sign from Nixon. Let's look at the defense behind Connolly. It's going to be Yastrzemski in left, Geiger in center, and Jensen in right. Yastrzemski and Geiger average range. Jensen above average, and I think that's just the overall defensive rating. On the arm-wise, all 3 of them have above-average arms. Yastrzemski, the most error-prone of the 3, with a 7 rating. Geiger and Jensen both have 3 ratings. Behind the plate, Russ Nixon, who is awful, with a 1 rating for defense and a 20 error rating. That means he's going to commit an error on every error roll. He's also got a below average arm at a +2. In the infield, it's going to be Malzone, Budden, Schilling, and Runnels, all average, except for Schilling, who's above average at second. Schilling the most sure-handed of the four, with Budden being the most error-prone, along with Malzone at a close 10. So Conley on the hill is average, with a slightly high error rating of 9. So Conley looks in for the pitch from Nixon. Here's the windup and the pitch to Fernandez. Or 3, and that is going to be an error on the ground possibly, if it's a ground ball. So 5-1. There will be an error check on Malzone, and no error. So Fernandez is retired for out number 1. Bill Bruton up now, the center fielder. He's 3 for 8 against the Red Sox so far. 2 runs batted in. For the actual season, he's a .257 hitter with 17 homers and 63 runs batted in. So Conley kicks and delivers. No walk there. But it will be a base hit for Bruton. So Bruton's on board with 1 out. That'll bring up Al Kaline. Kaline, .324 hitter on the season with 19 homers and 82 runs batted in. And it'll be a range play. And it'll be past Malzone. Bruton will hold at second as Yastrzemski gets it back in quickly. So it'll put runners on first and second with 1 down. Rocky Colavito up now. Colavito, .290 hitter on the season with 45 homers and 140 runs batted in, so a monster season for Rocky. Chance to put Detroit on the board here. Oh, and we're going to have a ballpark check here. Yeah, that's going to be a base hit. Bruton will come around the score. Kaline will motor his way to third, and Colavito puts Detroit on the board with an RBI single. So Detroit already scored 1 more run than they did in the entire actual game. But they might not be done yet as they have runners at the corners with 1 down. Norm Cash up now. Hit .361 in 61 with 41 homers and 132 runs batted in. So Detroit with a monster offense. 6-3. And that is going to be a base hit off Conley's card, so that'll be another run in. So Detroit up 2-0 now for Steve Boros. Boros, a .270 hitter with 5 homers and 62 runs batted in. And another hit. That will score another one. Colavito comes around the score, and it's 3-0 Detroit as Nixon goes out to talk to Connolly. Tries to settle him down a bit. Pinky Higgins, the Red Sox manager, also comes out there. Exchange a few words because Higgins goes back to the dugout. And Nixon back behind the plate. Connolly kicks and delivers. And that's going to be a fly out to Geiger in center. Cash will hold. So 2 down now for Jake Wood. Wood hit .258 with 11 homers and 69 runs batted in. And that'll be a strikeout by Wood to end the inning. So whatever Higgins told him on the mound seemed to have worked as he got the next 2 batters out. And after 1/2 inning, it's Detroit 3 and Boston coming up. The tall order against Bunning, although Bunning has been hit hard. It was hit hard in his only appearance against the Red Sox. He suffered the loss in that game, pitching 8 innings, allowing I think 6 runs in that. That would tell me that based upon those stats. Allowing 8 hits, striking out 7 and walking nothing. Walking nobody. So for the Red Sox, it's going to be Chuck Schilling leading it off. He'll be followed by Gary Geiger, Chuck Schilling, the second baseman. Gary Geiger will play center and bat next. Then Carl Yastrzemski, the left fielder, will hit. Jackie Jensen, the right fielder, will bat cleanup. Russ Nixon behind the plate will hit 5th. Pete Reynolds, the shortstop, the first baseman, hit 6th. Frank Malzone, third baseman, will hit 7th. Don Button, the shortstop, hits 8th. And Gene Connolly on the hill, batting 9th. And this is something I just noticed, like, recently, within the last, well, not recently, within the last few times I played, is that you can get their stats right here, what they've done so far in the game. That's just pretty cool. And the pitching line just by hovering over it, which is pretty cool. I did not realize that. So, all right. So that is the lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Behind Bunning, it's going to be Colavito, Bruton, and Kaline. All excellent. Well, Bruton and Kaline, excellent defenders, with Colavito above average and left. And very few errors that they will commit. Colavito and Kaline above average arms in left and right, and Bruton average in center. In the infield, it's Burroughs, Fernandez, Wood, and Cash. All average range except for Burroughs, who's slightly below average. Fernandez at shortstop, the most error prone with a 10 rating, and Norm Cash, the most short-handed at first with a 5 rating. Brown behind the plate is average, with a somewhat high error rate, but an excellent arm at a -3. So Bunning on the hill, excellent defender, but does commit a good share of errors on the hill. So Chuck Schilling, 248 hitter on the season with 4 runs batted in. Also should have 5 because a few games ago he did not get credit for one of his RBIs because we did not advance the runner during his at bat. So he should have 5 runs batted in. Also still on base. So Schilling steps into the box. Bunning looks in for the sign from Brown. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is going to be a fly out to Colavito and left for out number 1. Gary Geiger up now. Geiger hitting .253 in this season with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. Hit 18 homers in the actual season. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Burroughs up with it over to Cash. And it's 2 down in the Red Sox first. Next up, the struggling Carl Yastrzemski, showing some signs of getting out of it in his last couple of games. Hitting .188 with 3 homers and 13 runs batted in. In actuality, after this game, Yastrzemski went 0 for 4 in the game, hit .238. So Yastrzemski can get a couple of hits here. He can get pretty close to that .238 average. Well, at least above 200 with that. So he's not that far off of his pace. Can easily be made up this early in the season. So Bunning looks in for the sign from Brown. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that will be a ground out to second to retire the side. So the Red Sox go in order. And after 1 full, it's Detroit 3 and Boston nothing. Bunning will lead it off for the Tigers. Bunning a .130 hitter on the season with 4 runs batted in. 6 runs scored. And he'll strike out. So Conley's second K of the day. Chico Fernandez up now, top of the order, 0 for 1 today. And he avoids the strikeout and flies out to Jensen and right. So 2 down now for Bill Bruton. It's 1 for 1 with a run scored. And that'll be a foul ball. Conley up now. Conley with the next pitch. Inside pitch gets fought off. And hits it down the line. Into left field, it looks like. Rattles around a bit. And Bruton will end up at third with a 2-out double. So Al Kaline with a chance to increase the Detroit lead. 1 for 1 with a run scored. Conley kicks and delivers. And gets him. Kaline does not strike out that often. Gets fooled there. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the second. So we'll head to the bottom of the second with Detroit with a 3-0 lead. Jackie Jensen leads it off. Jackie Jensen having an excellent season so far. He's hit .376 in 85 at-bats with 3 homers and 18 runs batted in. See what he can do against Bunning here. He'll strike out. So Bunning with his first K of the day. Brings up Russ Nixon. Nixon hitting .236 with 5 runs batted in. And possible error here. And no error as Bruton's able to handle it. And it's 2 down in the Red Sox second. Pete Reynolds up now. Reynolds hitting .324 in the season with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Only hit 3 homers for the entire season in 360 at-bats. And already has 3 in just 68 at-bats this year in the replay. And he'll fly out to Kaline. Size it up and makes the catch. So the Red Sox go in order again in the second. And after 2, it's Detroit 3 and Boston nothing. Calvito will lead it off. Rockies 1 for 1 with a run scored and an RBI. And he avoids the strikeout, but does ground out to Button at short. Over to Reynolds for out number 1. So 1 gone in Detroit third. Norm Cash up now, 1 for 1 with an RBI. And that's fouled off. And that'll be a ground ball to second, shilling over to Reynolds. For out number 2. Steve Boros, 1 for 1 with an RBI. And he flies out to Jensen and right to end the inning. So after 2.5, it's the Tigers 3 and Boston Red Sox nothing. Frank Malzone up now. Frank Malzone also off to a fast start, hitting .373 in 59 at-bats with 4 homers and 17 runs batted in. Bunny looks in for the sign from Brown. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's a foul ball. Voids the strikeout, but flies out to Calvito on left. Makes the catch for out number 1. Button up now. Button also off to a good start, hitting .351 in 37 at-bats with 8 runs batted in. So he's made the most of his playing time. Ooh, avoids the strikeout there. Strikes out a lot, but managed to avoid it this time. And fights it off for a single. So Red Sox with their first base runner of the day and the first hit of the day off Bunning. That brings up Gene Connolly with one down. Connolly is actually a 219 hitter, so I am going to hit away with him just because he's 219 hitter. If he's over 200, I'm definitely going to give him a shot. Possible error on a throw here. Oh, and he's going to fight it off and get that base hit. And Bruton's going to also mishandle it for an error, a rare error on Bruton. Even as Bunning makes his way to third. He'll be held there. So Connolly advances to second after the base hit and the error by Bruton. So there'll be runners on second and third with nobody out. With one out for Chuck Schilling. Schilling with a chance to add to his RBI total. And he will as he gets a base hit. 2 runs will come home, and the Red Sox cut the Detroit lead to just 1 on the 2-run single by Chuck Schilling. So that'll bring up Gary Geiger. Geiger 0 for 1 today. And he flies out to Bruton for out number 2. Carl Yastrzemski up now 0 for 1 today. And he grounds out to Wood for out number 3. So Yastrzemski unable to get the tying run home. Or at least extend the inning. And let's see here. Did the error make a difference here? I don't think so, as there was a base hit. So let's say it's runners on first and second. Let's just say it's first and second without the error. And there's a single there, so that could have brought home one of the runs there. So the runner could have tagged and gone to third too. And the other runner, instead of first and second, it could have been first and third. So I'm going to say that they were earned runs there. Both of them. So, alright. So, Gene Connolly back out on the hill. Now just a 1-run deficit for the Red Sox. Dick Brown, it would be Brown, Wood, and Bunning, bottom third of the order, up against Connolly. Connolly had to settle down since a rough first inning. And Connolly kicks and delivers. Avoids the strikeout, but flies out to Geiger for out number 1. Jake Wood up now, struck out against Connolly his first time up. And he'll fly out to Yastrzemski in left for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down in the Detroit 4th. That'll be up Jim Bunning. Bunning also a strikeout victim of Connolly's. And Bunning will get a base hit. So both pitchers with a hit now. So he'll be on with a 2-out single. Top of the order, Fernandez up now. Fernandez 0 for 2 so far today. And he will ground out to Bunning at short. Goes the short way over to Schilling, and that'll end the inning. So it remains 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Red Sox will have Jensen, Nixon, and Runnels up against Bunning. Malzone, if anybody gets on. Jensen struck out against Bunning his first time up. And this time we'll ground out to Wood at second for out number 1. Russ Nixon 0 for 1. And he does not get the walk. Instead, he flies out to K line for out number 2. Pete Reynolds up now, 0 for 1. And he'll draw the 2-out walk. Cash will hold him on. Reynolds is a threat to steal. And I think we're going to try something here. I think we're going to try to get him in the scoring position for Malzone. So we are going to try to steal. Oh, I didn't see that reduction there. So he must have not got a good jump there. Oh, I know what it was. Oh, I forgot that Brown was a -3 there. That could have been dangerous. But he is able to get in there. So Malzone, Reynolds with the stolen base. So it'll put the tying run in scoring position for Malzone. Malzone with a chance to tie the game here. And instead, he'll flies out to K line. So Red Sox unable to get the tying run home. And we'll head to the top of the 5th with the score Detroit 3 and Boston 2. Will Brute will lead it off. He's having a good day. He's 2 for 2 with a triple and a run scored. Pitch by Connolly. Does not get him. He does ground out to Malzone at 3rd for out number 1. LK lines up now, 1 for 2 with a run scored. And he grounds out to Malzone also. So 2 down in the Detroit 5th. Brings up Colavito, 1 for 2 with a RBI. And he'll ground out to Shillington in the inning. So Detroit goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 5th. And halfway through, it's Detroit 3 and Boston 2. Bunning to lead it off for the Red Sox. Bunning 1 for 1 with a run scored. And he grounds out to Fernandez. Over to Cash for out number 1. Conley up now, 1 for 1 so far with a run scored. Does not draw the walk. Instead, will pop out to Fernandez. Calls for it and makes the catch on the outfield grass for out number 2. Chuck Schilling had a 2-run single to put the Red Sox on the board. And this time he'll strike out though. So after 5 full, it's 3-2 Detroit. Looks like Conley has another inning or 2 in him, if possibly. 1-5. So he ground out the Schilling for out number 1. So 1 gone in the Tiger 6th. Brings up Steve Burrows, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Range play at Fenway Park no, it's the range play. And that is going to be a base hit, possibly. No, actually, Bunning is able to get to that one and throw Reynolds out by a step. So great play by Bunning for the 2nd out of the 6th. Dick Brown 0 for 2 on the day. Search of his first hit. And that's going to be a 16. Oh, this is very strange. I don't think this is even possible. So you get 1 to 8 as a single, double 9 to 14, triple 15 to 19, home run 20 to 21. That's not even possible to get off a D20. So a home run, you'd have to get a 20. And then how do you even get 20 to 22? Or 22 to 20, no less, for the flyout. So don't know. Obviously, there's some kind of an error in his range. Yeah, on his card. That's weird. Because up top here, it says home run 20 to 21, triple 15 to 19. It's going to be a 16 side. It's going to be a triple. So Dick Brown is on with a 2-out triple. Oh, it was a range check too. So Yastrzemski could have gotten that one in, but he does not, and it rattles around. And before Yastrzemski can get it back in the infield, Brown is on with a triple. So Jake Wood with a chance to add to the Detroit lead, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Conley hoping to get out of any damage. No. Does not get the called third strike. But he does hit a number back to Conley, who's up with it. Over to Runnels. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 5th. So remains Tigers lead by 1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Geiger will lead it off for the Red Sox. Geiger 0 for 2 on the day. So Bunning kicks and delivers, and it's going to be ball 4. So Geiger on with a leadoff walk. Yastrzemski's still looking for his first hit of the day, 0 for 2. Cash holding on Geiger. Geiger representing the tying run. And Yastrzemski does not draw the walk. Oh, and he's going to ground out to second. This could be 2. And it will be. So Yastrzemski hits into the 4-6-3 double play. So Yastrzemski's struggles continue as his average continues to go down. Today, anyway. So 2 outs now. The base is empty for Jackie Jensen. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. It's not strikeout this time. Instead, is able to get a single. So 2-out single for Jensen. Then we have Russ Nixon, who's 0 for 2. Possible error on the ground here. Instead, flies out to left hand in the inning for the Red Sox. So Boston continues to trail by 1 as we head to the top of the 7th. Gene Conley back out on the hill. Let's check Bunning's. Oops, not that one. I'll check Bunning's line. Yeah, Bunning's still got a lot of gas left in him. So we'll let him hit. He's 1 for 2 on the day. And he'll strike out. Conley now with 4 Ks on the day, twice Bunning. Chico Fernandez hitless on the day. 0 for 3. Oh, and a rain check at Fenway Park. He's not been good for the Red Sox so far. But this time it's alright as he grounds out to Button for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 outs in the Tigers' 7th. Brings up Bruton. He's 2 for 3 with a triple and a run scored. Oh, does not get the home run there. Instead pops it up to second, Schilling up with it. Schilling under it and makes the catch. So 7th inning stretch time here at Fenway Park. Take me out to the ball game. Here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever go back, 'cause it's root for the Red Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And that's for all Red Sox fans in Stratomatic, Delaware. Alrighty, so bottom of the 7th. Red Sox will send up Runnels, Malzone, and Button. If anybody gets on the pitcher spot, they'll most likely pinch hit for Conley if his comes up in the inning, which hopefully he will. So Bunning kicks and delivers to Runnels, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Ooh, he might reach on an error here, possibly. 5-5. And that's going to be a ground ball to Fernandez. Cannot handle it, and he boots it. And Runnels will be on with a first after the error by Fernandez. Malzone up now. Mazzetto, not a good bunter. And we're hitting 361. We're going to let him hit away. Range play. And Hernandez unable to get to this one. So an error on Fernandez, and now he's unable to get to this one. Very tough play for Fernandez. They're going to rule that as single. Reynolds will stop at second. So first two runners on for the Red Sox. Tying run in the go-ahead run. Bunning 1 for 2 of the runs scored comes to the plate now. And he strikes out. So Conley's position up now. We're definitely going to pinch hit for Conley. So his day is done, even though he does have a hit. Let's get our position player up here now. And just to check, let's see who Red Sox did not use a pinch hitter in the day. So we're free to use whoever we want. And I think that's a good choice there. Vic Wertz is going to come up and hit for in the pitcher spot. So Vic Wertz, 261 hitter on the season with 5 homers. I believe that leads the Red Sox. And 13 runs batted in. Ooh, and they're going to do a pickoff. And Reynolds is back safely. So Bunning looks in for the sign from Wertz. Here's the windup and pitch. The sign from Brown. 6-5. Oh, no! And Wertz hits one down the line. Hooking, and it's foul. Just foul. It just missed one there. As a 1-10 would have got a home run on the blue die, but it's a 14. So let's see what he can do here off his card. That's going to be a ground ball to third. And they're going to try the double play. And they'll get it. So Wertz almost hits one out and then bounces into a double play to end the inning. So the Red Sox cannot take advantage. And let's see here. So Connolly did go the distance, so we got to see what we can pick here. Let's see. We'll let the computer pick something here. So we have a righty and a righty count. K-Line and Colavito. Ooh. All right, we'll bring in Dave Hillman. As good as any choice of any. So Dave Hillman comes in, not struggling on the season so far. Did have a 277 earned run average on the actual season. 3-2 record. Does have 1 save, 11 and 3rd innings, allowing 18 hits, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. No record. So Hillman will face K-Line and Rocky Colavito and Norm Cash, so the heart of the Detroit order. Top of the 8th. Trying to keep it a 3-2 game. K-Line 1 for 3 with a run scored. Hillman kicks and delivers. And that's going to be a base hit for K-Line. So K-Line on with a leadoff single to start the 8th. Rocky Colavito 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Range play. Oh man, nobody would have been able to get to that one. That was a real tough play. So K-Line will motor his way to third. So the Red Sox in trouble here. Runners at the corners for Norm Cash. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Red Sox are going to play the infield in. Oh, that would have been big. No strikeout on Cash. But it is a pop-out. And Reynolds calls for it and makes the catch. So big out there. Steve Burrows up now, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Going to play the infield in once again. And strikes out Burrows. So Hillman comes back. Gets the next 2 batters. It's not done yet, though. Red Sox defense plays back now. So Dick Brown with a chance to add to the Detroit lead. Dick Brown is 1 for 3 with a triple. And he'll line out to Malzone to end the inning. So Red Sox get out of trouble there, and will head to the bottom of the 8th with the Red Sox trailing by just 1. Red Sox are at the top of the order, showing to lead it off. 1 for 3 with a 2-run single. And he flies out to K-line and right. He's under it and squeezes it for out number 1. Gary Geiger up now 0 for 2 with a walk. And he'll ground out to Boros at third. So 2 up and 2 down for the Red Sox here in the 8th. I think the Red Sox fans did not sing Sweet Caroline yet. Not sure exactly when it became a tradition, but definitely not in 1961, as the song hadn't even been written yet. So Yastrzemski, hitless on the day, 0 for 3, comes to the plate. And he hits a little nubber back to Bunning. And the side is retired. So we'll head to the 9th. Hillman back out on the hill for the Red Sox. Trying to, again, keep it a 1-run game. Wood 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Grounds out the short for out number 1. That brings up Jim Bunning, who's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. And 8 innings pitched, 5 runs, 2 runs earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. I'm going to let him try to finish it out. So he will hit for himself 1 for 3. And he strikes out for out number 1. Chico Fernandez 0 for 4 on the day. Let's just see if Detroit used any pinch hitters here. And Bobo Osborne and Charlie Maxwell. So let's check and see. He's the shortstop. So let's see if they have any other shortstops available. Look at Dick McAuliffe. So Osborne and Maxwell both had an official at bat. Let's see who the computer picks. Let's go with Bobo Osborne. .215 hitter, 93 at bats, so we'll go with him. Oops. So Bobo Osborne, just 1 at bat on the season so far, without a hit. .215 batter, with 2 homers and 13 runs batted in. That 1 at bat was against the Red Sox. So 2 outs and the base is empty for Osborne. And he strikes out as Hillman gets him, and that'll do it for the Tigers in the 9th. So can Bobo Osborne play? I don't think so. No, first base, third base. How about Charlie Maxwell? No, he's an outfielder. So it looks like we are going to go with Dick McAuliffe, not so great error-wise. I guess we're going to go with Ozzie Virgil, who did play in the game. Yeah, we'll get him in the game, Ozzie Virgil. So Virgil comes in at short. He's below average defensively, but does not commit any errors at all. So that's good. So the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th will have Jensen, Nixon, and Runnels. The best they can get up there. Bunning is going to try to close it here. There is action in the Detroit pen as their closer. Terry Fox is up and throwing. So here's the pitch to Jennings. Jennings, like I said, 1 for 3. And that's going to be a base hit. And that is going to be it for Bunning. As we have the pull rule, we would have pulled him anyway. So Terry Fox will come in and... So the Red Sox, good start for the Red Sox. Ooh, I don't think we want to go for the steal here just because it's a 1 through 11, but that's going to go down a lot. It's going to go down by at least 3, depending upon what Fox's whole rating is. Let's see if we can find out Fox's whole rating. I don't think we can right now, but let's try this. No, it doesn't show his. All right. No. Alrighty, so that brings up Russ Nixon. Nixon not a bad bunter. I think we're gonna have Nixon bunt instead. So Nixon 0 for 3 on the day, so we're gonna have him bunt. Okay. Sacrifice. We'll do that instead. So Cash will play in and Boros, anticipating the bunt. Oh, and the backfires as the lead runner gets thrown out. Unbelievable. Oh, that's not good. So Pagaroni bunts it too hard. And we're going to take Nixon out. He's a slow runner here. So that's who they have. Looks like it's going to be Billy Harrell. He's going to come in the pinch run for Nixon. Okay. Let's see here. Do we want to have him try to steal? Yeah. I think we're gonna. So let's try to steal with Harrell. He's got a 20 rating there. 16. Oh, yeah. Good thing he had a 20. So Harrell will be in there with the stolen base. So tying run in scoring position now with 1 down for. So effectively the same thing now. With a little more speed, so that might be more helpful for the Red Sox. So Runnels, 0 for 2 with a walk, is hitting .314 on the season. So Fox kicks and delivers. Ooh, possible error on the ground, 1-5. It's going to be a base hit, and that will score the run. So the Red Sox get the tying run home. Ooh, I didn't even see if that was an error. If I should have moved it. No, I don't think there was. That would have came up something there. So the Red Sox score the tying run here in the bottom of the 9th as the fans go crazy. Malzone 1 for 3 up now. Runnels definitely a threat to steal again. Let's try a steal by Runnels. Why not? Oops. I should not have done that. How do you get him back? So let's hold on. So it's one time he didn't want it to save, and it saved. Man, really? So he had a 17 rating. Let's just say he was going for a steal here. Let's just do I think it would have been like a 1 to like 14. And it rolls a 19. I don't know. That isn't necessarily anything right there, but we're not gonna go with that. We're just hopefully, well, we'll see. We'll see if it makes a difference here. 6-4. And that's a fly out. So we'll see if Malzone can do anything. Oh. I don't know. I'm just going to have to say that Harold got the stolen base. I mean, you can argue with me or do whatever you want, but I'm sorry. But didn't mean to do that, but there's not much I can do to fix it. So we're just going to give the Red Sox the walk-off home run. Again, if you're watching it, you're probably going to say, yeah, that's a Red Sox. But I am a Red Sox fan, so I'm just going to assume that he did steal the base there. I mean, he had over a 60% chance to get that, and I'm just going to say he got it. So, anyway, Red Sox. Why is it only a 4-3 game? Oh, because they were down by 2. So yeah, well, they already scored a run there. It would have gone into extra innings, so they could have won it in extra innings anyway. So, and they were at home, so we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they would have won it. Again, that's one of the things I have against inside pitch, is that if you make an error, it's very unforgiving. An error, I mean, in your calculation. But in their defense, I do like the system that they have, because it kind of gives you the feel of you're playing a cards and dice game by doing the manual things by yourself. So I guess that's maybe the trade-off in that. So, but yeah, it makes for an exciting game. But I still think that this should have been. Let me check here. Let's check the stats out on this. I can say, where's the play-by-play? Hold on here. I think they still should have scored 3 runs here. No, maybe not. Yeah, so not only do they get the home run there, but let's see here. So yeah, that was an error. I meant to hit the click stolen base, and I clicked the other one, but and I tried to fix it, but it just would not let me. So I guess I got to blame the game on that one. I can't call him out because there's, you don't know if he would have gone out. But what can you do? You win some, you lose some, like that. And we'd happen to win one today. So, all right, so let's check out the box score. And I assume there's probably mostly Red Sox fans watching this, as it is a Red Sox replay for Carl Yastrzemski. So the Red Sox come from behind and beat the Detroit Tigers in thrilling fashion here by a score of 4-3. So, and they did win this game in actual life too, so. Gene Connolly gets the win. Gets the pitch 7 innings, allowing when he hits 3 runs, all of them earned, 4 strikeouts. Dave Hillman, and again, it's I have to manage for Detroit too, so, which again is a positive and a negative thing, mostly negative because there is no AI in this, so I have to make judgment calls. So I try to manage the best you can. Dave Hillman with the win, 1-0, 2 innings pitched. 2 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts. So he was good in relief, getting the win. Definitely a deserved win there. Jim Bunning goes 8 innings, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. And Terry Fox gets the loss, allowing the home run to Frank Malzone, the game winner. So thrilling victory for the Boston Red Sox and Frank Malzone. So we're going to give Frank Malzone the player of the game for that hit. He did also get another hit. 2 for 4 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. So let's go through the lineups quickly. Chuck Schilling, 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in for the Red Sox. Followed by Gary Geiger, 0 for 3. Carl Yastrzemski was hitless Average down to 181, so he's struggling mightily. Might get sent down to AAA. Jackie Jensen 2 for 4. Russ Nixon 0 for 4. Billy Harrell came on as a pinch runner and scored. Pete Reynolds 0 for 3 with a walk. Frank Malzone, like I said, 2 for 4 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. 2-run shot to win the game. Don Budden 1 for 3 with a run scored. Gene Connolly 1 for 2 with a run scored. Vic Wertz 0 for 1. And just thinking about that too, I mean, I did manage to the best of my ability there at the end there. After that error was made, everything else was pretty fair there, and it was not an intentional mistake. So I know the more I talk about it, the more I sound like I'm guilty of murder and trying to defend myself, but it's only a game, so we'll go with that. So thank you for joining me. It's Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, as Frank Malzone has a walk-off 2-run home run to win the game for the Red Sox. So take care, God bless, and we'll see you in the next Carl Yastrzemski video, which will be game number 30. And again, with the win, they're 13-16 now. They were 12-17 in the actual season. So, bye-bye now. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.